Today we have a 2000 Lincoln Continental with a 4.6 motor. The front end's still acting a little weird. They replaced the caliper in that, but it's not perfect. So we're going to replace the brake line hose. Sometimes those deteriorate. We're going to show you where that's located and how to do it. First thing you do, take off the tire. These are 19 millimeters. So now the caliper was not pushing back properly, so we replaced that, and that cures it like 95, 98% of the time. But on this one, this is an older car, it's a 2000. And what happens sometimes is this brake line, or the brake hose right here. This is actually your brake line. This is a brake hose made out of rubber. And what happens is this deteriorates and does not allow the fluid to flow back and forth like it's supposed to. So we're gonna replace that. They're not too expensive, like 25 bucks. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is break this line loose. It's a 13 millimeter. You don't want to undo these 10s up here because you got to make sure that this brake line going to it doesn't pivot. So we sprayed it up good. Just got to make sure that that'll break loose. Once we know that's moving good, we're going to go on to removing everything else. This right here is actually, this has air ride assist, or just air ride, and it's old and it's not even working. So we're just going to take that off, put it out of the way. They actually replaced it with different suspension. On these hoses, this one came from Napa. There is a left and right on these things, so you have to double check it. But if you look at it, it doesn't have this bracket. Oh, it does. It has the bracket right there. It has this part, and the line comes up from the bottom. So this should be the proper one for the right side. First thing to do is take this 10 off. And you have to keep these bolts because they do not give you new ones with the line. This is freed here. So we're gonna do these 10s. That's breaking loose easy. I did spray them with a lubricant, let it set for about an hour. This one has limited room back here, so you might need an opening wrench, but it's just got enough there. Depends on the application you're doing. Most cars, this is gonna be kind of a universal thing. Remove these two. Just remove the other one, move that one. Okay, now this is actually free. And what we do is get a bucket because I'm gonna undo this one off the caliper and this line right here, and then it's gonna start dripping, and we just install the new one. Now we're gonna disconnect the 13 back here, and once you start doing this, it's gonna start dripping, so you gotta have a bucket. And install the new one as quick as you can. You could try to plug it and stuff, but we're not gonna do that. And we do this 10 down here. We install the new hose. Hands get a little slick when you get all the brake fluid on it. Okay. Now when you're putting this bottom one on, you just got to make sure that you have those brass fittings in there. That's your washers. Put that on there. Start it by hand. We'll snug that up. We'll go up here. This around like it's supposed to be. You don't want to, just like that right there. See how it goes up that line? We'll get this other one started. When you're mounting these brackets right here, they have a little tab that goes into the hole to line it up. It has the same thing back here, so you just got to make sure it's in that hole. Once you get in there like that, it'll be the same on the back there, and you just tighten it up. Like that. Tight. Okay. The hose, just like it's supposed to be. Last one I'm going to do is this one right here. Washers are in place. This block goes against this right here so it doesn't pivot. Tighten that up. Okay. So we tightened up these bolts, this bolt, and then we tightened up this, and you got to tighten up this one. Okay, this air ride is not working on this car, but it's still got that round ball that fits in there. You can clip it there, and you can clip it in there just to hold it. You go up here and you put this in so it sits where it's supposed to, just like that. So the last thing we do is bleed the caliper here. I don't have anybody here to help me, so I'm going to actually do the other hose on the other side, and then I'm going to bleed both sides at one time. So that is all it takes to put a brake hose on a 2000 Lincoln Continental.